How's it going, guys? Welcome to TheBlueShifting, and welcome to this fun little video. A while back, I found some quizzes. I did like the Pottermore quizzes, the Patronus quiz, and I also was able to find and throw in a little bit of Brandon Sanderson quizzes, which I was hoping would start a trend, and it looks like we've got another contender. Thank you so much to the Stormlight Archive Facebook group. Someone posted this there like about a week ago, and I thought it'd be really fun to share. It's funny because I think I started it. I did like 2 questions. And I was like, hang on, why don't I just record this? Last time I recorded this, I had a lot of fun. So I will have this as a link linked in the description below. It's probably the first one there. Why don't you go ahead and click it before we go? See what you got. Tell me in your comments of what you thought of the quiz and what your results were, and then let's see what I get here. Let's get out of this intro and get right to the quiz. Alright, Surgebinder within. Okay, 4 paths extend before you. Each of them is rife with promise and futures untold. Which of them would you choose? Barren concrete leads to the great city ahead. Dirt and well-trodden, a safe path for caravans. Winding through forests thick and thin, your destination is obscured. Or narrow cutting through the mountains, it strays from civilization. I do like big cities, but I kind of like the dirt and well-trodden safe path for caravans. I'm a person who enjoys traveling, but I'm not per se want to just walk on concrete all day. Like, I think a dirt path would be kind of fun. You're young and talented. Oh, well, thank you. A capable student indeed, but a dark-eyed child. Your choices are limited. What do you decide on your future? Oh, this is kind of cool because like it actually is very lore based right now. Seek the Ardentia, cast off your old life, may part with past luxuries, but none that can equal the wisdom you find there. Definitely not something I would be interested in, really. Listen to the army. No. Be a soldier, a battlefield surgeon, or even just a simple camp worker. Doesn't matter. There's glory there if you wish to obtain it. Okay, maybe a camp worker, but I would not be good for battle. Like, honestly. My personality is just not great for that. Your mother and father run a humble trading business. In staying, you seek to forge your fortune instead with them, no matter how difficult it may be. Or immerse yourself in academia. Your studies have been paid for already. Seek distinction and knowledge, for it is a reliable path to advancement. Ooh, that's tough. I like business would be interesting. Like if I got to stay in the family business, could be kind of fun, especially if you get to like do some traveling and stuff. But then again, academia. I love learning. I love like being able to study and do some research and such. That sucks though. I don't know. Like, if I could go and get educated and seek, like, research and, like, not have to, like, worry about it. Like, if it's going to be paid for, if I could provide for a family and that kind of thing, I think I'd probably go for academia. During your travels, you happen upon a group of slaves. One of them looks like bleh. One look at them and what is that word? Engender. Gosh darn it. Why? I'm so sorry. One look at them, they engendered your pity. Against your better judgment, you make a deal with the slaver who could tell them for a price you can manage. You can purchase one of them. What do you choose? Who do you choose? A strong, sturdy child, far too young to be suffering this kind of fate. You plan on setting him free, or perhaps educating him as your page. An ex-soldier, badly beaten, barely breathing. Your journey is very dangerous, perhaps a renewed oath can serve you well. A light-eyed woman, wherever she's been taken to, it will not end well for her. You wish to take her with you, if only because she intrigues you, or you cannot choose one of them. It will not be fair. You haggle even more fiercely, despite knowing that you're pressing any harder. The deal will be broken. Okay, so, my first instinct, honestly, I'm gonna have to go with, will have to be the child. I'm sorry, like, old soldier and light-eyed woman, I mean, yeah, life's not gonna be good, but a child at least has a chance to try and maybe make their own path before they get stuck into this life. That's a tough choice, though. But some odd twist of fate, it becomes your duty to humor the requests of an old scholar. One of his requests is that you paint. You are horrible at painting. Absolutely, I am. But orders are orders, you comply. What do you paint? You paint your companions, far from flattering, but it's the thought that counts. Remember the dark, constant waters of your town, simple and abstract, but with hidden depth. You paint something. Anything that comes to mind, you come up with something that has too many colors. Or you paint, or at least try, to the surrounding countryside with a variety host of creatures. I think I'd do something more abstract, especially if I can't do it very well. You are in a duel, your body falls into a stance you have no recollection of ever learning. What stance is it? That'd be kind of cool. I wish I could just, something I could fight. Wind stance, two-handed, elbows bent, attacks with broad, majestic, sweeping motions, perfect for shard blades. Like, I've always imagined it kind of like an up here, like that, like where the blade's kind of up next to your head, and allowing you to do some chopping motions. Smoke stance, one-handed, blade to the heart. You stay in motion constantly, attack with sudden thrusts. So it's like kind of like a fencing pose, almost it feels like. Vine stance, less with holding a blade, more defensive footwork and extended agility. Staying alive is what counts. I like that one because it's not only is it more on the defensive side, which is something I think I'd be a pretty big fan of, but it's also something that I feel like even if you didn't have a weapon, you could still use effectively. Stone stance, two-handed, arms fully extended, so it's like out in front, almost like arms locked. Offensive, it relies on powerful jumping blows, defensive one parries, and remains immobile. Definitely powerful stance. I think that's that one reminds me a lot of like when I think of lightsaber battles. That kind of like the sound that seems a lot like what I imagine a lightsaber battle being similar to. I guess all of them would work with lightsabers. But yeah, I really like the idea of using like vine stance, being able to focus in combat. It's more about getting yourself in the right place, like maximizing your environment to your advantage. I think that's a huge part of combat, personally. A philosophy question: which of these objects do you identify with the most? Spear, not the ambition or future sports, but the effort and sacrifice. Or trumpet, proclaim their beliefs. One must be proven wrong to be proven right. Not necessarily true, but look. Shield, every man can harm and injure, too few can preserve and protect. Or lantern, your machinations are shrouded in secrecy, but they light the way. I think I'd like the lantern. I'm not huge into combat, honestly. If I could avoid it, I would. And then trumpet, no, just doesn't seem like me. Your teacher knows you to be fearless, but he's wrong. You do fear something. What is it that you fear above all else? Responsibility? You have fear of holding other people's lives in your hands. Loneliness, being alone indefinitely. And in agony, you wish for no one. Judgment, when what you are frightens you. No one should ever know what you are. Or oblivion, be it death or obsolescence, it is non-existence that frightens you most. Ooh, I'd have to say loneliness, honestly. It's like it's weird because I'm such a paradox because I'm very much an introvert. I find being out and being social very exhausting, and I need to like recuperate afterwards. But if I never got to be social, I'd be very sad. For your prestigious efforts and great skill, a bright lord has chosen you above all else to be rewarded with a treasure few could ever dream of. Which of his treasures would you choose for yourself? A wicked shard blade catches your eye, thinking of the power and distinction such a weapon could provide you. The Bright Lord's spare shard plate. It's majestic to behold. Strength and protection is what your heart desires. Your heart's desire is. Or a unused soul caster sits pettily on his desk. Beautiful enactment. Its power could feed thousands at your disposal. While I like soul casters, they're freaking terrifying. So I would probably not want one. I honestly think between the two, I'd rather have shard plate. I think it's a lot more. I want to say useful. I mean, a shard blade is pretty freaking awesome because it can't be like. Oh, actually, that's a good point. Because you'd never be without it. Like you could always just summon it like when you needed it. But a shard plate, like being able to like run and jump and be practically superhuman, like that's pretty cool. And having all that extra strength and energy. Ooh, okay, I probably would go shard plate, honestly. Which of these truths would you readily accept? It is light that smothers its fellow light, not darkness. Interesting. Freedom is false. Limitations are absolute. And to live is to know the necessity must trump honor. Which of these would I readily accept? It is light that smothers its fellow light, not darkness. Probably true. I mean, in like nature, that is true. Oftentimes, like, if you burn too much of your fire, if you throw all the firewood onto the fire and don't, like, use it, like, responsibly, then you only have warmth for a few hours when you need it for the entire evening. If you must forgive yourself for one thing, what would it be? Apathy. You once cared too much about yourself, and now you've realized that life is to care for other people. Weakness. Strength is earned, never asked for. Impotence in the past is excusable. Failure in the present is not. Ignorance. There's never only one truth. Now that you've seen it, you no longer wish for conformity. And affection. You let your love for others blind you to their true intentions. You never want to be blinded again. Ooh. I actually have to say, I thought it was going to be like weakness, but I actually think I literally have gone through the affection one, where my love and my feelings for other people, whether they were romantic inclined or mostly not, but my feelings and caring for others blinded me to their true intentions, and I never could see the difference between someone who was genuinely a friend, who was like out for me and wanting to like kind of have a mutual like relationship, versus someone who just kind of was going for the ride and just kind of enjoying the stuff I would do for them for fun. You know, it's like there's so many people who are they'll say that you're friends with their mouths, but when it comes down to it, it's like not true. Surprised by a bandit attack, you and your rescued slave escape into the wilderness, but the high storm quickly approaches. What do you do to survive? Try and outrun the storm. That sounds like a terrible idea. You're near your village before the caravan was attacked, but you can get there before the tempest arrives. You find a small shelter nestled against a small rock face. You tell your slave to hide there while you brave the storm alone. Oh boy. Allow the storm to descend upon you. Hopefully if you survive the storm wall, you can make use of the storm's approach to retake the caravan from the bandits. That's optimistic and terrible idea. Or you find a small shelter nestled against a small rock face. Despite the size, you insist to hide both yourself and your slave behind it. Well, okay. Either I'm going to that village or I'm going to jump into that small shelter and we're going to share it. Because, I don't know, like, sometimes I feel like we're getting a little spoiled in the way things are going. Sometimes it makes it feel like, oh yeah, you can survive a high storm. It's like, they're terrible. You don't want to be outside with one of them. I think I'd rather find a shelter I know is there, even if it's small, and just like hope it works out, rather than to be caught trying to run to a village. Maybe we can make it, but it's like it's too big a risk. You and your servant have weathered the high storm. As you continue your journey in the morning, though, he or she suddenly collapses. An unnoticed wound, dirty by the storm, blinks back at you from one shoulder. Wait, what? The wound blinks back, or is that a figure of speech? Your companion burns with fever. What do? Ooh. Continue onward. You must not stop. You have to carry your servant in your arms just to accomplish this. Then why not? Town still too far. Thankfully, no little herbology. Some of these herbs around you must help somehow. Forward ahead and contact the healer. You promise to be back in time. Oh, that doesn't sound like a good idea. It'd be hard to find them if they're in the brush. And you have shown your servant great kindness and generosity. You should not begrudge if you leave him here or go behind. Go on before the bandits catch up. Ooh. If I know a little bit of herbology, I'm guessing I can find something to help with at least a little bit. You know, yeah, maybe do some binding to it. You know, it's like there's got to be something I can do right now. If you're given the chance to shape the future of all of Alethkar, what future would you lead it towards? Peace. See all of Alethkar united in glory and power. There should be one true kingdom once more. I doubt that would just make it peaceful, though. Change. What good is peace if we let tyranny, the light eyes, continue over us? Strength, no more useless politicking. Only the strong can impose virtue and order, as your loyalties lie. Or why do you have to be the one to shape Alethkar's future? Leave that job to a better man. He'd rather shape your own. It's either peace or the bottom one, and I think I'm probably the bottom one. I'm sorry. I don't think I'm the person who should shape the freaking country. Why should I have? Well, but if I'm in a position where I could, I can't just shirk that duty. Oh, that's a tough one. Okay, if I'm in a position where I could shape the future of a country, just because I don't feel like I don't feel qualified, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't at least do my best. So I would go for peace. You receive a letter out of nowhere telling you that your closest friend for years has been murdered. Oh man, that sucks. What if the circumstances of his death very much a mystery? Devastated, what is it that you do? Investigate the murder on your own. You alone will exact vengeance. Console his friends and family. Let your actions mourn him, not your tears. Maneuver your allies into hunting the man down. You will leave no stone unturned for this cruel act, or track down the murderer, and despite everything, offer reconciliation. Oh, man, that's a bold claim to be able to say. Like, yeah, my best friend was murdered by you, but hey, I forgive you. Like, I don't know if I could, honestly, if I could do that. I think I'd maneuver my allies. Like, I think I would pull some strings and get stuff done. Stormlight pours forth from your very being. Ooh, yay! It seems like you're ready for the final question. The voice of the Almighty asks you, what do you truly believe in? Do I believe in truth, idealism, or freedom? I think idealism. Oh no! See results without an account. I don't want to do that. Alright, congratulations. You completed Surgebinder within. Based on your answers, you are an Elsecaller. Nice! Elsecaller led the 8 Knights of Radiant all match concerning the Spren and cognitive world because of their desire to understand the world in all its convoluted glory and share the wisdom they offered. Controversial findings. It is perhaps no wonder that they hold the strongest connection with the Spren, which would be cool. I like Spren. They possess transformation, transportation, and espouse wisdom and care. My next top one was Edge Dancer, followed by Bondsmith. That's cool. Night Weaver, and then what was my bottom one? Will Shaper, just not a Will Shaper. We don't know much about them though yet. So that's the nice thing though, because like we're learning as we like study the books and as they come out, but they're not perfect. My ultimate dream, and if anybody who happens to have any influence of this whatsoever, please tell. Hopefully you can make this happen. My ultimate dream is that someday when the books come finished, maybe at least the first 5, when we've kind of nailed down a lot more about like the general aspects of the different surges and the different bondings of Spren, I would love if we had a Brandon Sanderson style Pottermore, but like for Surgebinder, because the coolest thing about bonding with Spren is that it's so personality based, or like it's so driven. I think that there's a lot of element of choice, and that's something that we're seeing recently, is that like it's not just like, oh, because you are this way you would bond this friend. I think there's a large part of like if you have a strong enough desire, kind of like the Sorting Hat, where like it bases its choice based on like your personality, but it takes your choice into consideration. I think a friend is more likely to bond to you if you have a strong desire to make that bond. And for the reasons of like doing things, like if you want to be a windrunner really, really bad, I think that would be taken into account by a honor sprint. But then you also would want to have the aptitude, because remember, like there's a pretty strong risk in there. Like the whole process is pretty. We don't even know. Like there could be a lot more danger to it than we realize. But anyway, Elsecaller, I would gladly accept that. Last time I got Bondsmith, but it's kind of nice to see that it's pretty high up there. And Edge Dancer is cool because that's personally my favorite. I think not just like what they represent and like their calling, I guess you could call it, but also their powers. Anyway, that's been enough time. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. It was just fun. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about this quiz. I think it's a good one. I think whoever wrote this, congratulations. This is really, really good. And I hope we get to see more stuff like this, especially as we learn more as new books come out. So yeah, leave in the comments below, what was your result? I'd love to take a quick informal poll and just kind of have a good little conversation about this. So thank you so much. Keep an eye out for more Cosmere content coming out in the future. And of course, if you like just general stories, I've got tons of visual novel stuff out on my channel. So I invite you to check it out. If you've never experienced it before, visual novels are some of the best ways to enjoy a good story. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. And until the next video you're watching me or whatever you happen to see me in next, I'll see you there.